Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to the installment of Scott Selections here for Monday, March 29th. We're getting today's play of the day. Quick recap of what happened yesterday. We ended up having a nice day. Ended up winning the play of the day with Creighton and Gonzaga under 159 and minus 113 on DraftKings. I know the game got off to a pretty insane start, 53 points or so in the first 10 minutes, and then the game completely crashed. Finished with about 76 at the half. Game went way under. Ended up finishing, I believe, at 149. So about 10 points of freedom there. We picked up a nice easy winner. We're going to be looking for another easy winner here on Monday. Now, I know that there's going to be a couple of Elite Eight games. You also have some NBA games. However, since college basketball, of course, I'm doing the premium contest with Scott Steen and with David Hess. We're kind of running out of games, and I want to keep it fair for the people that actually paid for those. So I'm not going to be talking about any of those matchups. And the NBA, of course, everyone knows that the injury reports are a complete circus. So I'm not going to get bothered with all that stuff. So we're going to do something a little bit differently on this show, something we have actually never done in about 2+ years of Scott Selections. We're going to be doing a matchup on the women's college basketball tournament. And before, some of you I know are going to be asking, well, why are you talking about this? What is there to gain for this? My answer is money. If you believe that there's value on a game, and I believe there's value on this game, then why not try to make some money from it? That's how I'm looking at it, so I'm going to break it down. It's going to be on a matchup between the Baylor Bears and the UConn Huskies. And I'm sure all of you who don't even follow women's basketball know exactly where I'm going with this one and what team I like here. I'm taking UConn, who has been dominating college basketball for the last, I don't even know how long. I know they haven't won a championship in a couple of years, but this year, this team is the best team in the country. And the best line currently available is UConn minus 3.5 and minus 115 on Bet Online. I know a lot of you are used to UConn laying 40, laying 30, even 11 against good teams. They're only laying 3.5 here against the Baylor team. That has been very good this season, don't get me wrong. Baylor is 28-2. However, if you look at these teams so far, UConn's a much better team. I think this line should be a lot higher, probably closer to the 6 or 7 range. Looking at some line movement, though, UConn has gone from around 3.5 to 4.5 in most spots. I saw DraftKings at 4.5. I saw that Fox Bet had 4, but BetOnline still is 3.5, so I'll take the free point there with only 5 cents of juice. Now, looking at both teams, UConn's the number 1 team in the country, according to the last AP poll before the start of the tournament. Meanwhile, Baylor is the 5th-ranked team in the country, which is why it is a 2 seed in the tournament. Now, looking at both teams in the tournament, though, really different results. UConn won each of its first 3 tournament games by at least 20 points. Meanwhile, Baylor is kind of lucky to be here and needed overtime in order to beat the 6th seed in Michigan in the final round. Michigan was the 16th seed in the final AP poll, so Michigan's pretty good. But if Baylor needed overtime to beat them, now only has 1 day to recover before playing against the best team in the entire country. Fatigue should play a factor for Baylor, and I also have to wonder how good Baylor actually is because it almost got upset in the Sweet 16 leading up to this game, while UConn has been on complete cruise control, and UConn's offense has been absolutely filthy. But looking at both teams, of course, both teams are elite because of the records, but UConn is better both offensively and defensively. UConn ranks 4th in points per game. Baylor ranks 5th. UConn also ranks 4th in points allowed per game, and Baylor ranks 13th in points allowed per game. So UConn has been elite offensively, elite defensively, top 4 in both. Comparatively speaking, they're basically the female version of Gonzaga. This team is elite on both sides of the ball. They kill basically every team they play. And I think even though Baylor is the 2 seed here, I do expect an avalanche of UConn money to come in. I really don't see people fading UConn, who, of course, has the best female coach of all time, Ejina Oriema, and right now the best player in all of women's college basketball in Paige Buchers, who either is going to go early to the draft or stay for a couple of years. Either way, she's the best player in the country, and I do think that Baylor will have a lot of problems stopping her, especially with some fatigue potentially playing a factor. But at the end of the day, UConn, who's naturally laying huge numbers, is laying 3.5 against a team that needed overtime to beat the 6th seed in its region. I think UConn should fly towards, I'd say, 5.5 or 6. I know women's college basketball tends to require less money in order to move lines, and I really don't see where the Baylor money is going to come in on this matchup. So for that reason, I do think UConn minus 3.5 is a great deal. Should get a lot of line movement leading up to this game. So for that reason, I like UConn to win this game by at least 7 points or so. The play that I once again here for Monday, March 29th is going to be on the UConn women's team, minus 3.5 and minus 115 on Bet Online. That's been almost got section. Go to all of you and respect the best today. Bye, everyone.